Hi there, welcome to Wyckoff technical analysis session for Cardano. It's been already more than a week since we last covered Cardano that we talked about it facing a key test, and as of this moment it's still within the upward channel, but then the critical moment for breakout is getting closer and closer. Let's quickly take a look. Here in the weekly chart, this light blue box is the upward channel, and over the past 2 weeks the price has been staying within this box, still climbing a little. However, if we look at the volume, this is very interesting. So look at the body of the candlestick, the length of this versus this one over here. So it looks like it's about 1/3 the length of this body, right? So this solid white area. However, if we look at the volume, here is over 80 million. What we have here is like 1/10 or 1/9 of what we had over there in mid-August. So this is a very interesting observation, because while the price move seems to be like 1/3 of this, but the volume itself is only like way lower. So it's probably very limited supply over there, but then there are people trying to fight for it. That's why making such a big price swing compared to the volume. So be careful. This climb, while it may continue for a week or two, is getting weaker basically. So compared to these two white candles, the first one even longer than what we have, not to mention this little one last week, and the second one was pretty strong. Similar here, pretty even between the two. So supposedly, if the momentum remains more or less same, this week's candle should be a little bit longer, maybe even challenging the green key level. Well, there are still a little bit less than like 4 days left, so maybe there will be some interesting movements, but challenging, like breaking through the 0.95 yellow key level, heading towards all the way to 1.14 would be a challenge. So that's why I'm going to remain these two tags over here, still 60% towards the sign of weakness and 40% towards the upthrust. Just because of this declining volume, it seems like the confidence is getting weaker and weaker. And also, why I said is like the decision point will be in probably less than a month, basically is because of this triangle. So easier to figure out this triangle I'm talking about. So the tip of the triangle sits somewhere between August 6th and August 13th, so about a month from now. So if the price continues to trade within this area, then eventually it has to decide which side to go. If it breaks above the yellow key level, then it will continue the uptrend and head towards the green key level to challenge, and maybe eventually reaching the point of upthrust. However, if it doesn't, that means it's going to break outside of this upward channel. If it breaks outside of this channel, the very first thing it may happen is to go down to challenge this orange key level. If you are like familiar with the candlestick pattern analysis, there is a chance that it evolves into something like a head and shoulder pattern. So you see this left shoulder, right, and then the head over here, and maybe this is the right shoulder. We don't know yet, but there's a possibility that this happens. So combining these together, if this really comes down, there is a likely chance that it falls through the orange key level and go test all the way to the red key level and maybe the white, and that's when the new sign of weakness will appear. The last sign of weakness was already June, mid-June, so 3 months from now already. So covered two possibilities, like this scenario heading upwards, breaking first above the yellow by beginning of October, or falls down towards like the orange and red key level, challenging these areas, maybe reaching the point of sign of weakness. So from a big picture perspective, this is where it seems it's going to head to. And let me switch on the Bollinger Band Keltner squeeze. Right now, the top line over here, the purple line, the staircase, is within the orange, and the one at the bottom isn't too far away from it. So whenever a squeeze happens, the price tends to swing harder. So right over here, when we look at sometime around mid-June, when the squeeze happened, that's when we had the swing upwards. But then there are times that the swing will head towards the other side. So right now it seems like we are getting closer to a squeeze situation. So be mindful that a bigger swing may be on its way. So after the big picture, let's take a look at the daily. Here, let me switch back on the Wyckoff tags. So we can see clearly the price is still trading within this upward channel, and we've already talked about this key point around October 10th, exactly a month from now. So it's pretty clear the price is trying to re-challenge this yellow key level. The key factor is it going to show us an upthrust after distribution? So very key from today onwards, when the price trades along this ascending triangle, supposedly, so there may be a chance that it shoots up to the upthrust after distribution. However, I already mentioned from the very beginning, the volume itself seems to be seems not providing sufficient confidence over there. So remember what happened here in August 22nd, this long white candle over here when the price shot up. Look at the volume over there. Now it is like less than half of the daily volume compared to what we had just 2 weeks ago, or roughly more than 2 weeks. So just to be exact, you can hold shift and drag basically. This is the point, and I press the caps button. That's why. So hold shift and drag, then you see is 20 days. So that's where the interesting bit is. There's still a chance for upthrust after distribution, but sign of weakness may be more likely. So that's why I put 60% back in the weekly chart and 40% over here. And this LPSY has been confirmed. However, if it really comes down, this will be the next LPSY. So this we can take out a question mark. In the daily chart, you see I tend to add a few more because things can happen very quickly. But this time, even after 10 days from the last session we covered this, only this LPSY has happened. It hasn't gone to the this level of sign of weakness. Some people would consider this one a sign of weakness. That's understandable because this was where the automatic reaction was back in late July. So even if you take this as a sign of weakness, I won't disagree about it. So this is the daily picture. So to recap, remember the key dates. Somewhere from now to October, mid-October or October 10th, the breakout will happen, and that will decide the next course of price movements. If it stays within this channel, obviously it's going to test the area between the yellow key level and the green, so 0.95 to 1.14. If it falls outside of the upward channel, it doesn't mean it's going to go all the way beyond the sign of weakness immediately. There's still a chance that it comes to a certain point and then it rebound and establish a new upward channel. But now it's too early to tell. We have to keep observing whether it breaks out to the upside or downside and how the volume reacts. Then we can decide what's potentially next. So thanks for joining me. See